Hi, my name is Eamon. In this video, I'm going to show you how to run Google Ads for your painting business. Now, at this point, I'm sure most people know how Google Ads work and what they are, but I'm just going to go through a few things really quick. So basically, what you do when you run Google Ads is that you bid on keywords. So for example, you might want to appear for the search painting contractors in Michigan or whatever area that you're in. And basically, you appear at the top of the search results, on top of the Google Maps listings, and on top of the organic results, and you compete with other people in your area, because the way it works is that it's basically an auction process and you're all competing for the same keywords. So it's not just based on money, whoever's bidding the highest wins the search. There's also other factors like who has the most compelling ad copy that goes into it. That's basically a short story of how it works. Another thing I want to talk about is the lead quality that you get when you use Google versus Andy or Home Advisor or a service like that. Now, leads on Google are as high quality as can be because these are people who are actually in the market and they're actively searching. There's intent behind the search. Unlike with Andy or Home Advisor, these people haven't decided to go ahead with a project, so they're still in the discovery phase basically, and they're price shopping. They're still looking around. Leads that you get off Google, they're pretty easy to close. It obviously depends on you and your sales process, but right after referrals, they should be your easiest closes. Now, as far as the minimum budget, this depends on your area, but generally, I'd say 1,500 for the month would be a good place to start for you to see good results. How quickly can you get results? You can start seeing leads, honestly. It's happened to me within a day or a few days or maximum a week. But generally, it's pretty quick, especially if you're targeting a pretty big area. You can get results really quickly. Now, the process and the account structure. So this is what the process looks like. You have the actual Google ad that you create in the Google Ad account, which is what I'm going to do in this video. And what you do with that traffic is that you send it to a landing page. You don't send it to your website. The reason for that is a landing page, what it is, it's a one-page website, and its only purpose is to convert traffic into leads. It needs to have a phone number very clearly and a form for an estimate request. So people can call or they can submit the form. And the reason for that is that you don't want to give people too much to do on the website to look around and click around. You want them to get in touch with you immediately, because that's why they searched into Google, because they wanted to speak to someone and maybe figure out a time to get an estimate. Now, conversion tracking is another really important part of a successful Google Ads campaign, and it has to be set up so that you know exactly how much you're spending and how much you're making. So you can see how many phone calls you've gotten, how many form submissions you've gotten, so that you know when to scale the campaign, when to put more money in so you can get more leads. But I'm not going to go through that in this video. I'll leave that for another one. Now, as far as the account structure, this is what it should look like. So you've got your ad account, and inside the account, you can create different campaigns. So let's say you offer residential and commercial services. You can set different budgets for each campaign. And inside each campaign, you've got ad groups. Now think of the ad groups as the different services you offer. So you have interior, exterior, drywall, cabinets, etc. Inside each ad group, you're going to have keywords for that service, and you're going to write 3 ads for that service. And this is really important. Most people don't do this. The reason you want to do this, though, is that you want to give Google as much data as possible. So what it's going to do is it's going to show each ad, and it's basically going to have them compete against each other, and it's going to choose a winner. And the winner is the one that gets clicked on the most, that gets you the most clicks. And basically, you basically just give yourself a better chance of competing if you give the algorithm 3 different ads to choose from. And all that traffic should go to landing pages, like I said before. But each service should have its own landing page, so you can't just have one landing page. Well, you can, but it's just not optimal. Because if someone, like I said before, someone's searching for exterior painting, they're not interested in hearing about drywall. So you want one page that talks only about that one service that the person actually searched for. And ad relevance is a really important metric that Google actually ranks you for. Okay, so now you can follow along with me. There are some parts of this that I am going to skip over because I don't want this video to take too long, and I'm going to make separate videos for that. So Let's begin. Sorry about the sudden change in scenery. I had to put this up another day. But anyway, this is what the inside of a Google Ad account looks like. I'm not going to go into how to create an account. I'll probably leave a link in the description that shows you how. It's a very simple process. But once you're in, this is what it looks like, okay? And if you already have an account, you have to click on campaigns here to create a new campaign, because you're not going to have this button right there, that blue one. You have to come here and then just click create campaign. New campaign. Okay, what's your campaign objective? So your campaign objective is obviously going to be leads, since you're going to be looking for phone calls and form submissions. Okay, so out of all these, you choose leads. Now, conversion goals and tracking, I'm going to leave that for another video. Don't worry about this right now, just click continue. Now, select campaign type. You're going to select the search type. The reason for this is because you want to show up when people actually search into Google. There's also these other types like Performance Max, reach audiences all across all of Google with a single campaign. That basically does everything. It's search, it's video, it's YouTube, all this other stuff that it's not really what you'd want to be doing if you're running ads for a painting business. Now, so select the ways you'd like to reach your goal. You can choose website visits or phone calls. Select website visits, phone calls, put in your business website URL here, and your phone number in there. All right, campaign name. You want to choose a name that actually that's actually relevant to the type of campaign that you want to run. So, for example, painting leads. The reason for this is, like I said earlier, Google really cares about relevance because they want to show the most relevant ads to people. So this actually helps you out. Painting leads. Continue. All right, now when it comes to bidding, it asks what do you want to focus on. When you're starting off a new campaign, what you want to start off focusing on is clicks, okay? Because you want to get a lot of data flowing into the account so that you can use that to optimize later down the line. So you want Google to go out and get you the most number of clicks possible. But since you're paying for all these clicks, you want to set a maximum cost per click bid limit. I'm going to show you how much you should set that for. That's basically telling Google that I don't want to pay anything above this number. So go to Tools and Settings. All right, right-click Keyword Planner and open it in a new tab. Okay, once you're in Keyword Planner, you wanna put in your main keywords for your main services and see how much they cost in your area. So, for example, it's probably going to be painter near me. Okay. What else? Painting contractors near me. Painting companies near me. And you want to put in your area. So let's say, for example, Pennsylvania. Now that's going to show you how much these click costs go in Pennsylvania. Now it's not going to be entirely accurate. The only way to know for sure, for 100% sure, is once you actually start running the ads and see how much your clicks cost. But you just want to be competitive. That's the idea right now. Okay, so now you have all these keywords. These are the ones I typed in, painter near me, the contractors near me. You want to look here at the top of the page bid. Okay, shows you the low range and the high range. So let's take a look at the high range. So 16, 19, 20, 20, 28. And you want to just look through all the other ones as well, just to get a better idea. Alright, so your main keywords here are probably going to be painter near me, contractors, and companies. And the top of the page bid for all these is about $20. Now, you want to bid just a bit below that as a maximum, okay? So if I go back here, and I'm setting a maximum that I want Google to bid on, let's say, what was it over here, 20.28. Let's say I choose 20.5. That's basically me telling Google that I want you to get me as many clicks as possible, but don't ever spend more than $20.5 for a click. Okay? And that's how you're going to show up at the top of the page. Now, customer acquisition, don't worry about this. If you're running lead generation, you can just skip that. All right, networks. The search network is basically Google's partner sites. So that's things like Bing, which is Microsoft search engine. Now, generally, you don't want to show them that, especially because nowadays there's this problem I've heard people having where they get a lot of unrelated inquiries, people asking about jobs. So that's money being wasted because people are clicking on those ads and then calling the person up, asking about a job, and they're also not going to turn to a customer. The display network is basically, you know, those ads that are on the side of a page, maybe you're reading an article or you're on any other website, you have ads that show on the side of the page. That's just a waste of money for lead generation. You don't want to show up for those either. Now next you have location targeting. This is really important if you only want to target a very specific area, even in the area that you serve. Let's say, for example, you want to go after the most well-off zip codes, right? The most affluent areas. You don't want to just type in the whole state that you serve. So you select enter another location, advanced search. Now, if you want to target the whole state, you could definitely do that. You can just type Pennsylvania. Continue with the example from before. You can select target. And then that's it. Now you're targeting all of Pennsylvania. If that's not what you want to do, instead, what you can do is you can press show all areas, zoom out, and you can actually select the areas, the zip codes that you want to target. Now, if you know what it looks like on a map, you can just go ahead and press them like this, and they'll be highlighted. All right, Clinton County, Pennsylvania, and you can keep doing this. Or, if you actually know the zip codes, you can just type them into here, and make sure to only target those, and then just select save. So that's if you want to target by zip code. Another thing you can do, if you only want to target the area around you, is you can target by radius. So you just put your either your home address or your office here, and then just target around that area, for example 20 miles around it. And then that's going to be the area where your ad will be served. It's not going to show up for people outside of it, people that you don't want to do any work for because they're just way outside. So that's location targeting. This is really important as well. Now the next one is location options. So you can target people by presence or interest, or just presence. You can target people regularly in, or who've shown interest in your target locations. Now what that means is people who've shown interest in your target locations is somebody outside Pennsylvania. They might type painters in Pennsylvania and your ad can show up. Let's say, for example, they're thinking of moving to Pennsylvania, or maybe they've already bought a house there, for example, and they know they're going to need to do some work on it. And they start looking into this before they move. So they type painters in Pennsylvania. While they're not in Pennsylvania, they haven't moved yet. You don't want to show up for somebody like that just yet, okay? Because they're going to click on your ad and they're not going to become a customer, if they ever do, when they actually get to Pennsylvania. So instead, you want to target people by presence. You only want people who are in or regularly in your targeted locations to be shown your ad, and that's it. All right, languages. If, for example, you serve a bilingual area, you can choose a different language here, but I would recommend that you build out those campaigns in the other language, for example, Spanish, just because that's going to convert much better. Audience segments, don't worry about that. You don't need that for lead generation. So ad rotation, prefer best performing ads. You should keep that as it is. Start and end dates. Now, it's best not to set an end date for your ads, even if you do plan on stopping them after running them for a while. And I'd recommend no less than 3 months if you want to get really good results, because they kind of take a while to get dialed in. Now, the reason for that is just basically it's not written anywhere in any of Google's literature, but it's kind of agreed upon that when you set an end date, you tend to not get as good results as if you just left it open-ended. So it's best just to not write anything. Now, ad schedule. Basically here, you just want to choose your opening hours. So Monday to Friday. All right, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. is going to be appropriate for most people. That's going to be the only time your ads are going to be shown to people. So especially if you're taking phone calls, you don't want to get anything outside of work hours. So just choose 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or whenever you're open. More settings. Okay. All right, campaign URL options. This is for advanced tracking. Now I might cover this in another video. It's usually if you have a third-party software, but it's way too advanced for this, so I'm just going to continue. Okay, now it's time to build out the ad groups and keywords inside them. Now remember at the beginning of the video I said that each ad group should correspond to a service that you offer. So interior, exterior, drywall. And inside the ad group you're going to put in the keywords for that service that you offer. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to put in the keywords and after that we're going to start writing the ads. So with the keywords, the thing is that what a lot of people do is that they'll put in all of their keywords into one ad group. That's mistake number one. Or even if they do split up their ad groups by the service, they think that the more keywords they put in, the better results they'll get. But more and more, with the way Google is changing, that's not the case. Google is now a lot more intent-based, so it takes the intent of the search more than the literal actual search that the person typed in. So because of that, you honestly don't need that many keywords inside an ad group. The less you have, the better, because Google knows when to make your ad show up for the person's search. So honestly, I'd say something like 5 to 10 keywords is perfect, right around there, maybe like 8. You can put in a URL to scan for keywords. So for example, you have the interior painting page of your website. You can put the URL here, or you can just start typing in the keywords yourself. Before I start typing the keywords though, I need to talk about match types. So basically, it says match types help control which searches can trigger your ads. The way to explain match types is it's about how tightly you want your keywords to correspond to the search that the person types in. Basically, how strict you want Google to be. So there's broad match, phrase match, and exact match. On broad match, it says ads may show in searches that relate to your keyword. So this is the most loose matching type there is. And phrase match, ads may show on searches that include the meaning. So if your keyword is lawn mowing service, your ads will show for lawn mowing service near me, hire company to mow lawn, landscaping service to cut grass. But if it's exact match, which is the tightest one, it's going to be as close as possible to what the person typed in. Now, if you're running for a lead gen, especially if you're running it for the first time, running Google Ads for the first time, and you're targeting a pretty big area, I'd say just stick to exact match, because you don't want to blow your budget on unrelated searches, which is the problem with these two. If you choose any of these match types, and you're not ready to be optimizing the campaign often, then you're better off just going with exact match. So, the way to do that is when you type in the word, if you just want broad match, just type the word as it is. For phrase match, type the keyword in between quotation marks. And for exact match, you put it between these square brackets. So this is what it will look like when you're entering the keywords. Let's name the ad group first of all. This is going to be our interior painting ad group. And in here we're going to have the interior painting keywords. Like I said, the account structure. Okay, I'm just going to pause the video and come up with all these keywords, and then I'll show you what I got. Okay, so as you can see, I have 8 keywords here that I'm going after, which is perfectly enough. All in exact match, you can see with the square brackets around them. Now we have to write the actual ad. Now I'm going to make a video about how to write ad copy that's compelling, but very quickly, there's 3 things you want to do with your ad copy. First, you want to talk about what you do, okay, which is you're offering painting services. Second is you want to give people a reason to choose you over everyone else. So this is any benefit that you offer, okay? Maybe you offer financing, or maybe you have a guarantee, anything like that. And the third thing is you want to have a call to action. You want to tell people what you want them to do next. So call for a free estimate, book your color consultation, call us now. We pick up every call. Just give them a reason to choose you over the competition, and tell them what you want them to do. So these are the 3 things. Final URL. So this is going to be the URL for your actual landing page. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to write certapro.com, just so that this thing is read. Now the display path, this is the URL that people are actually going to see. It doesn't matter if this isn't actually the URL that they're going to go to, but this is what they're going to see. And again, relevance is really important. So you want this to be interior painting, because this is the interior painting ad group. Interior painting. So you can add a phone number to show on the outside of the ad before people even click into it, and you can add that there. Now, Google Ads lets you have 15 headlines, and headlines is basically this. It says headline 1, 2, and 3, and you're allowed 15 headlines with 30 characters each. So, like I said, there are those three things that you want your ad copy to do. Tell people what you do, why they should choose you, and what you want them to do next. Now, when it comes to writing the ad copy, one thing you can do is you can look at what your competitors are doing. So you can just go into Google search yourself and write painting contractors in Pennsylvania, and you can see what comes up, see what your competitors are running, so you know what you're up against. So these are the ads that show up when I search painting contractors in Pennsylvania. I can see there's 3 people running ads, and this is a lead aggregator. Now you can take a look at their ad copy and get ideas and, figure out how you can beat them, basically. So affordable, high quality exterior home painting services, 40 plus years of experience, and over 7,500 homes painted. That's a pretty good selling point. Family-owned residential remodeling company. So either they also do painting, or they might be using broad or phrase matched. That's why they're showing up for a painting contractors search. 2 Dudes Painting Company. Alright, so you can use this to get some ideas. So when it comes to writing your own headlines, along with those 3 things I mentioned before, another thing that you want to keep in mind is you want to keep keyword focus in mind, because Google really rewards that. Like I said, I keep saying, relevance. So if the person's search matches the keyword in your account, which matches your ad copy and your headlines, that's going to be a really relevant ad, and Google will show that to people more often. It'll favor you over your competitors. So you want to keep keyword focus in mind. So for this first headline, let's say, for example, we write, I did write CertaPro Painters. So let's see if I can fit Pennsylvania in there. Alright, just about. Pennsylvania CertaPro Painters. Okay. Interior painters. Number 1, interior painters. Next one is professional painting. Now, there's nothing special about these words, about these keywords, but the next part, where you give people reasons to buy from you, that's what's going to differentiate you from the competition. So, licensed and insured. That's really important for a lot of people who've had bad experiences. Okay, licensed and insured. What else? Financing. I don't know if I have enough characters to write interest-free, but I can write that in descriptions later. Descriptions give you a lot more characters to work with. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and then write the rest of this myself and come back to you. Alright, I'll show you what I come up with in a second. But for this first headline, you want this to have dynamic location insertion. So you want the location where the person is, the specific city that they're in, to show up for that first headline. And I think this is a really great feature because it's going to be a lot more relevant for that searcher. So what you do is you put in this squiggly bracket like this, and then click location insertion. And what Google's going to do is it's going to put, if it can find the city, like if it can tell what city the person is in, it's going to put that before your headline. So, for example, Mountain View, if you want it to be the town or the city. If it's the state, you want it to be California. I usually select town or city, and then default text, when it can't tell, I'll just put in the state. So if you can't tell what city in Pennsylvania they're in, it'll just say Pennsylvania Painters or something like that. Number 1, Pennsylvania Painters. Okay. Let me just go to the beginning. There. Alright, so number 1, then it's going to show the location. It's going to show that city. As I was trying to show it here. Now, I usually pin this in the top spot. Google prefers that you don't pin things because what it likes to do is, or what it does is it keeps rotating these headlines until it finds the winning combo for you. But I like to select this, to pin this first one, because it's one of the worst things when you look something up and you have no idea where the person actually is, if they're even in your area. So I had to pin the location to the top spot. But the others, I just keep them all unpinned. So it'll show up like this. Number one, Freeborn Painters. And this is the ad copy that I typed. You can go ahead and take this if you want. Professional painting, licensed and insured. Like I said, giving people reasons to choose you instead of your competitors. Financing up to 6 months. Sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, financing up to 6 months, 30 years experience. Call now for a free quote. 2-year warranty. Again, just giving people to choose you over the competition. Now, this stuff is really important. I know it seems tedious, but you really should take the time to fill out all of these headlines. They're only 15. 100 Happy Homeowners, reviews speak for us. Alright, now you come to the description. The description is this here at the bottom. There's a lot more writing, a lot more characters that you're allowed than for the headlines. Your ad description appears below the display URL and can be up to 90 characters. Your descriptions and other parts of your ad, including extensions, I'm going to talk about that later, may show in different configurations based on the device that a potential customer is using. So again, it's the same idea. You've got 4 descriptions, and what Google's going to do is it's going to keep rotating them to find the combination that gets you the most clicks, and then it's going to run with that. And here you're allowed a lot more characters, so you can put in a lot more information. Like before, I'm going to pause, fill this in, and then get back. Okay, before I show you the descriptions I come up with, I just want to make something clear that I should have mentioned earlier. This ad strength doesn't really matter all that much. It's not going to affect you being shown at the top of the search results. It's not going to affect people seeing your ad and clicking on it or anything like that. So don't worry about it too much. As long as you're following what I'm telling you to do in this video, then you should be good. Alright, here's what comes for descriptions. Bring your home's interior to life with our top-rated painting services. Call us now. The most reliable painters in, and I used the squiggly bracket again. It's going to show the person's city, or otherwise it'll just say most reliable painters in Pennsylvania. Call us for all your interior painting needs. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. Give us a call today and get your project started. Alright, next you can put in your business name and logo. Now, I don't know, this is actually a pretty new feature, so I don't know if everybody has gotten this yet, if it appears in every account. But if you do have it, I really recommend that you use it, because as you can see here, a lot of people don't use it. See the top here, it says imageworkspainting.com instead of just saying imageworkspainting. And there's obviously no logo here. It's just something stock. Like for example, look at this. This person's got their logo. So do Hal's. It's just a nice touch, and it's better to have it. So if you have that option, I recommend you put it in. You just upload the logo as a JPEG or something like that. Now site links. Site links are basically these blue links that you have here underneath your ad that will help people navigate your website or landing page. Like I said, I recommend a landing page always. Sorry about that. Like I was saying, I recommend a landing page for these site links. And the reason that you even want to have these site links in the first place, and the reason you go through the trouble of writing all the descriptions and all this other stuff, is because you want to make your ad as big as possible. The bigger the ad, the higher the chance that people will click on it. So you'll get a higher click-through rate. That's what that's called. And that's what all of this does. All this writing, it just makes your ad bigger. It makes it take up more space on the page, and people are more likely to click on that. So that's why you should fill all this stuff out. If you just go through this trouble, which most people don't, honestly, as you can see, most people don't fill this stuff in. To be honest, technically these people could have filled it in, but it's not showing up right now because they're not in the first or second spot. But it's also likely that they just didn't fill it in the first place. So make sure that you do, because most people don't. So that's site links. The next thing you can do is fill out callouts. So this is what the ad should look like, and these are the callouts. You're going to have the headline here that we filled in, the description, and then these callouts. Callouts are basically these little pieces of text where you talk about specific features of your business. So for example, maybe you're open 24 hours, or I don't know, something like that, something specific about your business. You can repeat what you said earlier about the financing, about the warranty, licensed and insured, things like that. Again, all of this to make your ad bigger. So that's what the call out does.
Now, other assets you can put in are things like promotions, prices, if you want. Personally, I wouldn't recommend that. Promotions, maybe if there's a holiday special that you want to run, have a special discount or something like that for. Next thing you have is structured snippets, which come after the callouts. It's item one, item two, item three. This is about the specific features of the service. So if we go back up to the callouts are about the business as a whole, licensed and insured, financing, that stuff. But structured snippets are about any specific features of the service that you offer. So, for example, maybe you can say you only use Sherwin-Williams paint, something like that, or Benjamin Moore, anything that's unique to your service. You can put in a lead form on the outside, but again, also I wouldn't recommend it. Never personally used it. Same with apps; you don't really need that for lead gen. This is the tracking template stuff that I spoke about earlier. If you're using third-party tracking, but there's no need for all that right now. So we're basically done with creating this first ad. We filled in all 4 descriptions, filled in all 15 headlines, and we've got all our keywords up here, 8 keywords in exact match, so we should get some pretty high quality traffic. We still need to optimize it though. Once the campaign gets some data, once it starts getting clicks, that's another video though. Okay, so we're pretty much done with this first ad. The structured snippets, sorry, like I said, the structured snippets and the callouts and the site links, it's best to do them at the campaign level so that every single ad in every single ad group has them. As long as it's relevant, there should be no problem. It's just better than doing it separately for each ad group because it's pretty much going to be all the same thing. So that's your ad basically. That's your first ad for your first ad group. Okay, next we have to set the budget. Now, earlier I said that you want to have a minimum of 1,500, which is what I'd recommend. You can get away with 1,000, but you'll just see results a lot slower. But the way you want to calculate the budget is you should take your maximum cost per click bid limit that we set earlier. We set it at about $20, and multiply that by either 4 or 5. Obviously, the higher you set your budget, the quicker you'll see results. So let's say multiply it by 4. 20 times 4 is 80. So that's our daily budget. So $80 a day, 5 days a week, that's 1,600. It says for the month, you won't pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in a month. Some days you might spend less than your daily budget. And Google does that because it knows when you have a high likelihood of your ad getting clicked. So some days you might get more searches than others. So some days you might spend less than 80, some days you might spend more than 80. But overall, for the whole month, it's never going to spend more than the 1,600, your daily budget times the number of days in a month. That just means the days that you're running, basically. 5 days a week, 4 weeks in a month. And especially if you're running traffic to a landing page, where you should be getting about a 20% conversion rate. So 1 out of every 5 clicks is turning into a lead, then this should work out pretty well for you. Alright, says your campaign is ready to publish. Like I said, don't worry too much about conversion tracking and all this other stuff. Just look over everything, search, we want leads, phone call leads, submit lead forms. This is the conversion stuff that I'll do in another video because it's a pretty big thing itself. Maximize clicks. This setting we just left as it is. Google Search Network, locations, English, audience, 8 keywords, 1 ad, budget, 80 a day. Alright, and then just hit publish. Now, unless you actually do want your ads to start running right away, what you should do is you should go ahead and pause the campaign right away. So right now we're at the campaign level. We call the campaign painting leads, and we made the ad group interior painting inside that campaign. And now I'm just pausing the entire campaign. Now, if you remember, I said that you should make 3 ads inside every ad group. So we'll just go to this ad group here, interior painting, click on the interior painting ad group, and these are the keywords that we put in, but I want to go to the ad itself. So here's how you create more ads. It's a pretty simple way. It's okay that the ad itself is enabled as long as the campaign, even the ad group to be enabled. As long as the campaign itself is paused, your ads won't be running. So here's how you create more ads in a fast way. Just select the ad that you have, copy it, deselect, and then just paste it into Painting Leads, into the interior painting ad group. Pause new ads after pasting. If ad order exists, create duplicate. Alright, I'll just wait for that to finish. Okay, now it's done pasting. And here's the second ad that we just pasted right now. We'll just go into it and edit it. I know this seems like a lot of work, but trust me, most people don't do it, and that's why most people don't see results with Google Ads. What we want to do is we want to create another ad so we can have them compete against each other, and then Google will choose the winner for us. We're still in the interior painting ad group, still using the same keywords, but we just want to switch up some of the ad copy. So I'm going to do the same things I did before, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm just going to switch up some of this ad copy. I'm not going to change everything out. Might end up changing like half of it. Like change 2 descriptions and like 6 or 7 headlines. And that should be enough. And we'll be able to tell the difference when Google starts mixing and matching. Okay, so I'm done editing the ad copy. Again, don't worry about the ad strength. As long as you're filling everything in, all your headlines are filled in, all your descriptions are filled in, you should be fine. Remember, like I said, I like to pin the location in the first spot, but the others, I just let Google rotate them how they see fit, how the algorithm sees fit. As you can see, I switched around some of the ad copy, but I also left some of it, like licensed and insured, just so that Google will be able to run both ads, and you should make a third one, and then it'll decide between the 3 of them which is the best, and then you can create you can take out the worst performing one and swap in another one and just keep running that test. Also, you can get more clicks on your ads without having to increase the budget. So all this other stuff like site links and what was it, callouts, structured snippets, yeah, I'll do all of that in a moment. Alright, so now we have 2 ads in our interior painting ad group. So as you can see at the top, we're in all campaigns. We're in the Painting Leads campaign, in the interior painting ad group, and inside it we have, here, you can see we have 2 ads. Now again, if you want to make a third ad, which I recommend you do, you just select one of them, copy and paste like I did before, and make a third one. I'm not going to do that right now. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a third ad group. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ad, copy it, and then go create a second ad group for exterior painting. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that one, but just so that you can see how you would do it. So now you're at the campaign level. You're in all campaigns, Painting Leads. You're in Painting Leads campaign. Okay, go to ad groups on this left-hand side. You have your interior painting ad group. Click this blue circle to create a new ad group. Ad group type, you can leave that as standard. Ad group name, this is going to be the exterior painting ad group. Don't worry about the keywords for now, because we can just copy and paste the keywords from the interior painting ad group and just switch out the word interior for exterior. Make sure everything makes sense. Same thing here. All this ad copy, just make sure all of it applies to exterior painting. So let's see if I can fit the word exterior here. Professional exterior painting, 30 years experience. right? This says interior. Change that to exterior. There. Bring your home's exterior to life. Call us for your exterior painting needs. Skill team of exterior. It's all very straightforward. As long as you go through the trouble of doing it in the first place, then you should have a really high-performing ad. Again, add the business name on the logo, the site links, the different landing pages that you link to, and the structured snippets and the callouts I'm going to do in a moment. So right now we're done with the first ad for the exterior painting ad group. See, we're at the campaign level in painting leads. We have exterior painting and interior painting. Alright, now to create the ad extensions. Go to Ads and Assets. Sorry, extensions is actually what they used to be called. They're called assets now. We have our site links here. So this is where you can create your site link assets. Click site link and then just create. You should make sure that you're at the campaign level. As you can see, I'm at the campaign level, I'm at the painting leads level, not at just the ad group. So the site links that I create here are going to apply to both ad groups, interior and exterior painting. So, blue circle, start creating them. It says 2 unique site link assets are required for site links to show in your ads. To maximize performance, add 4 or more. So I'm going to add them at the campaign level to the painting leads, and I'm going to create a new asset. So this is what I wanted to say at the site on the site link text. For example, maybe I want people to see the before and afters that I have. Description line, I've got 35 characters, so I can say, check out our amazing work, beautiful homes, I don't know, something like that. And then you can put in the URL for the page that has the before and afters that you have. So that'll be one site link, and it'll look like this. It won't actually be highlighted, so it'll just look like this. Again, makes your ad bigger, gives you a higher click-through rate. People click on it more, and that way you get more leads. What else can you put in your site links? You can check out our reviews, listen to our raving clients, something like that. Second description for this, our work speaks for itself. Or actually, that would be better up there. Our work speaks for itself. Description for check out our reviews. Alright, let's say happy customers all over Pennsylvania. I hope I've been typing that right. Okay, Pennsylvania doesn't fit. Alright, the point is, okay, delighted homeowners, why not? Site link 3, you can have book your estimate, and then this link can be the link to your contact page, for example. You can have a landing page that just has very minimal information, and it just has the form and your phone number. Okay. Book your estimate. We have openings this week, for example. Fast response times. Then just put the URL in. If you have multiple locations, you can write our locations. Although you shouldn't need to do this because your ads should show up in the right location, but again, it's all about making the ad bigger. That's what you want to do. So you can write 2 descriptions for this and the URL. Let's see. Yeah, there's no need to schedule your assets. You just have them show up at the ad every single time, and then just hit save, and it'll all show up at the campaign level, because that's what we set up here at campaign painting leads. Alright, and after you're done with that, you can do your callout extensions. Again, we want to do it at the campaign level. So click on callout, start adding them. Now, callouts are, sorry, I think that's an internet problem. Callouts are about the things that make your entire business unique. So, let's say 25 characters, financing available, 30 years experience. It's okay to capitalize this stuff or not capitalize it, but just have it all be uniform, you know. Don't have some things in capital and some small letters. 30 years experience. Licensed and insured. Okay. Fast response time, for example. Alright, you get the idea. You can keep adding these callouts. I don't know what the maximum number they let you put in is. And what Google will do is it's going to cycle between them again, like it does with everything else. And it'll choose the winners for you. Now, you don't need to add all this, honestly. Maybe just try to do like 6 or something, but definitely 4 minimum. Okay, so that's the callout extensions. What's next is the structured snippets. Okay, now for structured snippets, it's about your specific services. So you can go in here and type and click service catalog, and then just type the services that you offer. For example, interior, exterior, cabinets, commercial. Maybe I should have put just residential and commercial up there. Again, this is what it would look like. You can have as many as you'd like. Try to put a minimum of 4, like I said, so the Google will actually serve them. Because I think if you have less than 2, then they won't actually show up. And then you can just save that. Alright, now, once you're done doing all of this, once you're done adding all the ads that you want to add, adding all the ad groups that you want to add, so the services that you want to advertise for, which you can use just from this left-hand side, just click Add Groups, and create another ad group. And like before, put in the keywords for that ad group, write the ads for that ad group, and you can copy-paste between them, and make sure you change the relevant information. So change the word exterior to interior, and like that. Alright, and then when you're ready, and your payment method is connected to your account, you just enable the campaign, and then you should start seeing results. It can take up to a week sometimes, but again, all of it just depends on the area that you're targeting. And as long as your budget is healthy as well, then you definitely should start seeing results pretty soon. And your landing page, that's also extremely important, and I'll make a different video for that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope I didn't go too quickly. Hope everything made sense. If you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And take care.